National champion Mary T. Maher demonstrates the form she used when setting 2 world records in the butterfly stroke. Her elliptical pull pattern and the constant change of pitch of her hands gives the impression that she's sculling her way through the water. Mary T.'s arms enter the water at shoulder width, at which point her pull begins. Her arms are straight during the recovery as they swing low over the surface of the water. Her hands enter the water thumbs first. When the turn is made, one arm is brought over the surface of the water as the breath is taken. Mary T. breathes on every second stroke. The arms stop in a vertical position as the feet leave the block. After the dive, 2 arm strokes are taken before the swimmer lifts his head to take a breath. The head is lifted upward to breathe by backward flexion of the neck that causes the head to face straight forward. When the breath has been taken, the head is lowered and faces the bottom of the pool as if looking straight down. From directly underneath the swimmer, it can be seen that the hands pull in an hourglass or keyhole pattern. Hand speed and acceleration are the most important considerations in swimming fast butterfly. During the first half of the pull, the arms maintain an elbow-up position. This action permits the hands to apply their force more directly backward, thereby creating more forward propulsion. This elbow-up position is accomplished by bending the elbows and medially rotating the upper arms. Dropped elbows result in a misapplication of force. Once again, a freeze frame of this high elbow position. The arm pull as seen from a head-on view shows that the pull begins at shoulder width. The hands press downward and outward. They then scull inward until they almost touch and finish by pushing outward into their recovery. The importance of hand speed and acceleration has been mentioned earlier. In this sequence of animated drawings, the speed of the hands at various phases of the stroke is shown. The dotted line shows the relative speed and acceleration pattern of the hands. Hand speed is not easily observable by the human eye and must be evaluated by stop-action film analysis. It can be seen in this underwater film of Halliburton's arm pull. Notice that the hands enter the water thumb first, the palms facing diagonally outward when the pull begins. On the inward squeeze of the hands, their position is reversed with the palms facing diagonally inward. This permits maximum use of the sculling effect created by the hands. Two kicks per arm cycle are used. The downbeat of the first kick occurs as the hands enter the water, and the downbeat of the second kick as the hands finish their pull. When swimming slowly, the first kick is the bigger of the two. When sprinting, the second kick is the bigger. Tracy Calkins uses the prescribed arm recovery and head action. This underwater view of her arm pull reveals that she has an exceptionally long stroke and finishes her pull with her hands leaving the water below the bottom edge of her suit. This head-on view of Tracy's arm pull shows that her elbow bend is ideal. As her pull begins, her elbows are straight. As it progresses, the elbows bend, and finally they straighten again as she finishes the pull. When doing the fishtail kick, the legs are bent on the downbeat and straight on the upbeat. Excessive up and down motion of the shoulders should be avoided. Kicking drills are used to condition the legs and to improve the mechanics of the kick. Olympic champion Mike Bruner's out-of-water and underwater stroke mechanics conform to the principles discussed in this film. Because he places his hands into the water flat palms first, instead of thumb first with the palms facing diagonally outward, as done by the other swimmers in this film, he pulls excessive amounts of air underwater behind his hands. These air bubbles tend to decrease the efficiency of the pull and can be eliminated by correct hand entry into the water.